So, if you're an entrepreneur, or even just thinking about starting a business in north central Massachusetts, you know things are different now. Today, we're going to dive into a local organization that's become a serious catalyst for growth, helping people turn their dreams into reality. Let's get right into it. Yeah, this quote from the Wachusett Business Incubator's blog, it really hits the nail on the head. It points to this massive shift that's creating incredible opportunities, sure, but also a whole new set of challenges for local business owners. All right, so let's dig into that shift. What are we actually talking about? How exactly has starting and running a business around here really changed? Think about it. It wasn't that long ago that business was all about your physical location. Success meant getting people in the door through foot traffic, local ads, and good old-fashioned word of mouth. Now, it's a totally different ballgame. You have to be a master of all that and this whole new digital universe, from selling online to using AI. And look, on one hand, these tools are amazing. They can help a tiny local shop compete with the big guys. But wow, is it a lot to learn? Suddenly, on top of everything else you do every day, you're also supposed to be a tech wizard and a data scientist. So the real question is, how on earth does one person manage it all? Well, that's exactly where our story pivots. Enter the Wachusett Business Incubator, or as we'll call it, WBI. It's a local nonprofit that was built from the ground up specifically to help entrepreneurs thrive in this new era. Now, a place like this doesn't just pop up overnight. The idea started way back in 2011 when some local leaders got together. By 2014, it was official, and they've just kept growing and adapting ever since, always looking for new ways to expand their impact. Okay, but this is what I think is so cool. Just look at their mission. The key words here aren't profit or revenue. They're empower, affordable, and supportive space. It's a totally different vibe, you know? It's all about building people up and strengthening the community. So that all sounds great, but what does it actually look like? How do they help people tackle all those modern challenges we talked about? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of what they offer. Okay, so think of this as the entrepreneur's ultimate toolkit. They've really thought about every single piece of the puzzle you'd need to put a successful business together, from planning and funding all the way to technology and finding customers. And this first one, it's huge. The big idea here is that you are not on your own. You get to sit down one-on-one with people who have already walked the path you're on, real experts and entrepreneurs who've seen it all. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room for every single startup: money. Finding capital is tough, but what WBI does is more than just wish you luck. They're in the trenches with you, helping you build that perfect pitch and actually connecting you with people who can invest. And get this is a big one. Because they secured a state grant, they can offer professional help with your business plan for free. I mean, that's a game changer right there. Having a solid business plan is absolutely critical, and they help you build it at no cost. Okay, so you might be thinking, this all sounds amazing, but can I afford it? Well, that's another thing that makes WBI so special. They've made it super accessible no matter what stage you're at. Let's break down how you can actually get involved. So just take a look at these tiers. They're incredibly flexible. You can start as a virtual member for just $25 a month. That gets you into the network. And as you grow or as your needs change, you can move up to get that face-to-face mentorship or even a desk to work at. And if you're not even ready to commit to that, no problem. For just $15, think about that, the price of lunch. You can get a day pass. You can just walk in, use the space, feel the vibe, and see if it's the right fit for you. That is pretty amazing. All right, so we've seen the what and the how, but the real proof, is in the stories. Let's hear from some of the actual entrepreneurs who've been through the program and seen the impact firsthand. Listen to this from Justin, a game changer. He went from a side hustle to a full-time business. I mean, that's the dream for so many people, right? That leap is often the scariest part, and this shows how having that support system makes it not just possible, but sustainable. And Emily's story is so important because it shows this isn't just about abstract business theory. They helped her with the practical, local stuff, like finding suppliers. That's the kind of on-the-ground knowledge you just can't get from a YouTube video or an online course. Then you have Carlos, a tech entrepreneur. A totally different world, right? He didn't need local suppliers. He needed a network to bounce ideas off of and workshops to sharpen his model. It just goes to show how flexible their support really is. It is not a one-size-fits-all approach. And wow, Linda's story with her culinary business, talk about daunting. You're not just cooking, you're navigating a total maze of regulations and licensing. Her story really highlights how WBI acts like a guide, making that incredibly complex journey feel, as she says, manageable. Okay, so we've covered a lot. We've seen how the business world has changed, and we've seen how WBI is meeting that challenge head-on right here in our community. So let's kind of wrap this all up. What's the main thing you should walk away with? It really comes down to this. WBI is more than just a resource. It's a partner. It's that catalyst we mentioned at the very beginning. They provide the tools, the advice, and maybe most importantly, the supportive community that turns a dream scribbled on a napkin into a real, thriving business. So at the end of the day, this isn't just information, it's really an invitation. The support is there, the community is waiting. They've got the soil and the tools ready to go. The only question left is, what dream are you going to grow?